because you were put on this earth for a purpose. And my job is to help you make that purpose. So as we're doing this, as you're going after and you're learning these little tips and tricks that I give you about writing, remember that your intrinsic value is more important than your writing. If you write, like I remember when I wrote my first screenplay, it was 120 pages. It was for a thing called Script Frenzy. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm pretty sure it's still going. But I wrote my first script with a friend of mine for Script Frenzy. And it was the worst script I have ever read. But the point wasn't quality. The point was to say we actually did it. And that was really, really good for me because it told me I could be successful at this. I love writing and I've never stopped writing since. I've written short film after short film after short film after screenplay. It makes no difference what I'm writing. The idea is you get the hours in so that you can start realizing, oh, this is what I like about writing. This is how I like to introduce my characters. This is how I love to make my stories flow. And then you get to be like, oh man, I found these little techniques here and there that I want to try out. And then in your next story, you try them out and you find out that they work and some don't. And you'll fail. But more importantly, you'll succeed. More importantly, you'll succeed because you're putting in the hours and you're putting in the heart. I remember when I was in acting, and I've got a lot of stories from acting because that was really when I was actively chasing my dreams a lot more, and but I was still for about a decade almost. I would go to auditions and I would be hopeless, and there was no life in my eyes because I could not do that. I couldn't audition for some reason. It just wasn't in my heart. This character wasn't in my heart and it should have been. And so I couldn't give my authentic self to that character because I had no hope. And that's what I'm talking to you about. Hope. Pick up your hope and put your heart into another script.